Hey everyone, and welcome back to my garden. Today I've got a lot to do. We're going on a planting marathon. I leave tomorrow for a work trip, and all these plants and a few more behind me need to get in the ground today. So let's get to it. Now this garlic is going to be harvested in about 2 to 3 weeks, and so behind it I'm going to put some more okra because I want this to be the okra bed. Now here's a cost-saving hack I'm sure you all know about, but whenever you go to the nursery to get plants, look for pots with multiple plants in them. There's 3 okra in here. There is 4 in here. And I have 3 in here. So instead of buying 3 plants, I have 10 plants, which is wonderful. Last year I had 6 okra plants and I want to double that. So right now I've got 4 plants in the bed. I'll have 14 okra plants this year, which more than doubles last year. So I'm looking forward to a really great harvest. So one thing I just did here, I took a piece of mulch. This okra is bent over, and so I just gently put the mulch in there and propped it up against the okra so that way it'll stand nice and tall. So I'm going to continue the trench. So far we have 4 okra that have a home. We need to make room for 6 more. I'm going to put some here. The last 3. These are very close together as well. All right, and now to cover them, I'm gonna water everything in at the very end. This bed did get watered briefly this morning. This is a tough location, so apologies if you can't see everything. Now when you are planting, you want to be sure to press down around the seedling because you want to ensure that there are no air gaps. You want the roots in contact with soil. Now, real talk, these 2 are close together. If needed, I'll move them when I get back from my trip. But for now, they are gonna stay where they are. Okay. You need a little bit of support. This is such a great hack. All you need is a little piece of mulch. Bonus if it has like a little fork. And you could just put that right there and it'll hold that new seedling right up. Right. Getting the last one in. All right, there we go. This is our next bed. I have onions in here as well as a bell pepper from last year. The goal is to get more peppers in. I have 2 giant red Marconi, 2 for the price of 1 at my local nursery. And this is real talk, okay? Please look at this. It's so sad. It's an ace pepper, but I forgot about it. And what's even sadder is this King Arthur. I don't know if it'll make it. I'm hoping with some tender loving care, it will sprout some new leaves. It's not dead. I mean, it's still alive, but yeah. We'll see what happens. I'm gonna plant them and we'll see. So this bed will have 5 bell pepper plants. And I'm planting them relatively close to the drip irrigation. Not right on top of, because you don't want them to be waterlogged, but close to. Now, if you're going with the square foot gardening method, bell peppers need 1 square feet per plant. Notice I put my finger in between, flip it over, tap, squeeze, and there we go. And gently pull apart. I have never found a pepper plant that had 2 in it at the nursery. So this was really a stellar day. All right, 1, 2, let's get the other 2 in. All right, this is the King Arthur. The King Arthur did really well for me last year. We're pushing down, always push down to ensure good contact with the roots on the soil. All right, now I'm going to top dress with fertilizer. That just means you're sprinkling right on top of the plants. And mix it in gently. Now the last thing I'm going to do, there's a mound of soil right here, and I am going to place one of these two watermelons. So this is a Moon and Stars watermelon. It's gonna be dark green skin with little yellow spots. And what's cool is that you could see that coloration in the leaves, which is really neat. So last year I did Sweet Love, or no, I did Mini Love, and those were really great. Unfortunately, I didn't find Mini Love this year, so I'm doing the Moon and Stars. These long, warm growing conditions for best results. Very sweet pink flesh as 100 days, so that is a little bit over 3 months. Again, the best way to save money is to find a pot with multiple plants. So it looks like there are 3 in here, which is fantastic. It's a bit root bound, so I'm gonna gently tease this first one apart. There we go. Now, watermelon really likes water. It's mostly water. So I'm definitely going to be hand watering this as well. I like to put watermelons at the edge of the beds. That way they have room to branch out. And it allows me to give them a little bit of extra water. All right, getting some fertilizer in there. And we're going to tilt it this way. And let's top dress as well. Now, all these plants are going to get watered in today, but I'm going to wait until the sun goes down a bit before I do that. Now, there's going to be more that goes into this bed. This is the first stage. Obviously, the onions are not going to be in here forever. They will be coming out in the next month or so. And then I will find some other things to put in here. It might be a bed that I leave some space for our fall crops, like broccoli, cabbage, bok choy, things like that, so that I can start them around August or so. Now, mulching a bed is really important. Mulch is a great weed blocker. I always say, if you don't cover your beds, nature will cover them for you, and she will do it with weeds. So it's a great weed blocker. It keeps the soil moist for longer, which is great because you have to water less and you spend less money on your water bill. And it also keeps the temperature of the soil cooler. So we have, plants like tomatoes and these peppers. If they get too hot, they won't produce. So if you are able to mulch really well, at least 2 to 3 inches at the bare minimum, then you keep the soil cooler and give those kinds of plants that are really sensitive to heat a buffer to continue to grow and produce. All right. I will come back and water in when the sun goes down. This is my last bed. Thank God. I'm so tired. So tired. So we have nasturtiums that I started from seed, and we have 2 cucumbers. They're green finger or Persian cucumbers. I don't like cucumbers, but my mother does. So I'm planting these for her, putting one on either side of this escalator squash. I don't know about you guys, I am, something about the cucurbit family makes me itch, literally makes me itch. So when I touch squash leaves or cucumber leaves, I start itching. And so I'm gonna get gloves to do the cucumbers. But for right now, for the nasturtiums, I'm just gonna do a row and have the nasturtiums there. All right. I reuse all my pots, so don't throw them out. If you keep them out of the sun, you can reuse a lot of your pots for next year. Now all of these will get watered in shortly. All right, that looks good. Lovely. Let's get this cucumber in. Let me go get my gloves. Now this cucumber, 2 in a pot, so 2 for the price of 1. And I am carefully going to separate them. They don't enjoy their roots being messed with, and unfortunately I'm messing with its roots. All right, that was a pretty clean separation. 1 here and 1 here. All right, now we're gonna put this one in. And if you've been with me before, I was redoing this bed and unfortunately found a really unpleasant surprise in this corner. There were roaches. There were lots of large roaches, to the point where I was just beside myself. And I ended up getting one of my chickens to come and eat said roaches. And so they may still be there, which is why I left this to the end. So I'm gonna try to do this very quickly, and we're gonna pray that they're not there, because I don't want to deal with roaches today. Wish me luck. I mean, I don't have to go very deep, so I'm hoping. That's all. That's what I'm gonna do, real quick. I'm not even gonna put fertilizer. I'm just gonna top dress it because I don't want anything coming out there. We're gonna top dress it and call it a day. And let's press it down. All right, I'm gonna leave you here. I'll cover this with mulch shortly, and then I'll water everything in. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. It was a marathon, and sometimes it's like that. You just gotta get things done, and that was today. I really appreciate the company. Feel free to click on the link above to watch another video, and I'll see you in the next one. Happy gardening, everyone.